Good morning. What are you thinking? How are you thinking? How have you interpreted your emotions on today? It is Capricares. Let's make sure I can be heard. Know that I care and care that I know. I want you, ma'am and sir, boy and girl, to make sure that you get to interpret your emotions correctly. Because oftentimes in life, we don't find the correct ways to interpret our emotions, or we interpret them the wrong way. So, good morning. As you're coming in the chat this morning, what module thinking works best for you? And this might be a little different, but it is what it is. It's Capri Cares. Know that I care and care that I know. Good morning, it's Capri Cares. Know that I care that I know. This is our daily motivation and inspiration for our mental health ministry here at the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church. It's Capri Cares. Know that I care and care that I know. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. I'm bound by myself. That's okay. Let me do this. Who is on? Say good morning to you, ma'am and sir, boy and girl. I got to. All right, there we go. There we go. My bad. Let's see here. Can you? Good morning, Anna. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, Anna. Here's the question for today. Am I afraid or not afraid? Afraid or not afraid to ask the difficult, uncomfortable questions to myself and others when needed? The difficult and uncomfortable questions. How comfortable or uncomfortable are we when we have to ask the difficult and uncomfortable questions? It's part of me slowing down, leading with integrity. It's a part of me making sure I don't misinterpret the emotion uh, that I'm trying to enjoy or express. Let me say it that way: enjoy and express. Yeah, enjoy and express. So, that emotion that I'm not trying, that I am interpreting, I have to ask it or me some questions. And I want to make sure that I'm in the right place, headspace, to ask those questions to myself, Anna. And as we grow and mature and become more aware of who we are, what we are, whose we are, those questions are very, very key and vital to our well being or our mental well being uh, and awareness. And I'm just trying to find it in my mental space that I can ask some uncomfortable questions to my mind. One being this, and let's just be honest. What were you thinking? I know it sounds funny and facetious, possibly, and sardonic, but what were you thinking? Sometimes we have to ask our mind that. What were you really thinking? I mean, that process of thought was did not have any form of credibility anywhere in your life. And for some of us who've made some bad decisions and choices and thoughts and allowed those thoughts to rule our lives, we have to ask ourselves, what are you thinking? What were you thinking? So I'm learning that in order for me to interpret my emotions correctly, I got to ask my mind, what were you thinking? And you say, well, Pastor, how does that work? Well, it's your thoughts that create your feelings and vice versa. But when you have a feeling, that literally creates a thought. That's cognitive behavioral therapy. You have to ask your mind, how are you interpreting this? What are you experiencing from this emotion? And then how are you expressing it? Because sometimes we get lost in the expression, and that emotion or those emotions um, carry us to places that there's a possibility we could regret those places that we are in later. If there's no regret, we can rejoice. So, I'm grateful for the rejoicing, but I'm also mindful that what I'm thinking creates my feelings. And I learned to resolve, rinse, replace, repeat. Like, I have to stay in that constant flux, especially when you're in servant leadership, because you can chase a thought too far into a corner or down a hole where the getting out of that, trust me, it's much easier to get into it than get out of it. So, and I'm learning this week, and I'm going to make sure that I'm being realistic in my thinking. I should have brought my book, How Successful People Think. Let me ask the listening audience, are y'all still reading the book? Because you should be reading the book. How are you thinking? Yeah. How are you thinking? And it's interesting because I've misinterpreted some emotions. And because I misinterpreted those emotions, what I experienced could have been something else could have been experienced from that experience. Because of my misinterpretation of that emotion, uh, it has left some, let's just say, cavities in my soul. Yes, Lord Jesus, I'll say that, a cavity in my soul. And it's expensive when you start dealing with dental work and cavities. And I know I'll close on this, because now that we have experienced the excuse me, of a cavity in our soul, are we really to pay the price? And there's a price to pay, because there was a price to pay because I misinterpreted an emotion. Hey, y'all, it's Capricares. Don't misinterpret your emotions because it might leave a cavity in your soul. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I might come back later on tonight with a group of people to do some things. I'll let you know. No, I will be back today. Today at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, 1:30 Central Standard Time. It's Tuesday. It's radio show day. Well, y'all, hey, don't misinterpret your emotions. Peace and blessings.